cutie. Are we going to do your update now? Okay, let's do it, okay? Right, you ready? Let's go. And welcome back to my channel. I have a little guest with me here today, and it's Daisy, and she is officially 3 months old, which kills my soul because that means she's not a baby, well, a newborn baby anymore. She's a big girl now, aren't you? You're a big chubby old girl, aren't you? Mwah. I just wanted to come on and update you because something really exciting happened in this last month, and I don't know if you noticed anything different about her little face, but she doesn't have her nasopharyngeal airway anymore, which is her MPA, or her little sort of breathing tube, if you will. I'm just going to sit her comfortably. There we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? She actually had it removed this past week, and it is amazing. We went into, well, okay, this is what happened. So we had a meeting with our calf nurse a couple of weeks ago, and she said, right, it looks like Daisy's nearing the time where she might be ready to start thinking about having it out for a little bit and seeing how she goes, with no intentions really of it coming out anytime soon. So we had that sort of little session over at our house as normal, and we took it out for the whole time that the calf nurse Diane was there. That was about an hour, and we monitored Daisy just to see what her saturations were like, her oxygen, and whether she struggled or whether you know anything went wrong, because her tongue could have fallen back and covered her airway like it used to when she was first born. So I was so nervous, and I really wish that Mark was there at the time, but he wasn't because he was at work, and my mum was there though. And it went really well, and Diane was like, okay, well, how about now, every day, until I see you next week, you take it out for a couple of hours, and then we'll go from there and see how she does, and move it up for like a morning, and then the next week after that move it up for a day, and see how we go. So we did that, and then on Sunday, the following Sunday, and the meeting here was on a Thursday, Daisy fell asleep while it was out, and there's that old saying, isn't there, like never wake a sleeping baby, and she looked so peaceful, and her saturations were really good, so we just left her, and a good few hours passed, and it's probably about 5 hours in total, and then that it had been out, and then we put it back in, and we noticed the minute we put it back in, her saturations completely dropped, and I mean completely dropped, and like it was lower than they should be, and we were really worried. So we went back and forth for a few days really worrying about it, because every time it went in it would drop, and that wasn't good, and it was going off every night, at least like 5 or 6 times a night, and that meant I was getting no sleep because I was really worried about my baby and thinking, is she getting enough oxygen, is it going to cause brain damage, and all these kinds of things. And so I rang Diane up and explained the situation. She said, well, she's obviously ahead of the game, because it tends to do more harm than good when they get to the point that, are you trying to eat my thumb? You are, aren't you? It gets to the point where, you know, they don't need it anymore, and then it can, you know, irritate their throat and cause them to have more secretions which block the tube up. So she said take it out all day and only put it in for at night, the night time, and if she does well with that, by the time I next see you this Thursday, we will book her in for a sleep study at the hospital and go from there. And if she does well in the sleep study, then she can have it out for good. So we did that, and she was amazing. Then Diane came on Thursday, we booked the sleep study, and that was just for whenever a room became available on our children's ward, and it became available on Friday. So me and her stayed overnight, and I did find that really hard, because the last time I stayed overnight at hospital was basically when my daughter went into special care, and I was extremely vulnerable and extremely worried and upset and scared, and it did bring a lot of demons back. But she passed with flying colours, and she has a average saturation level overnight of 97%, which is better than most people apparently, and she was above 90% saturation for 97% of the time, so she did amazingly, and the tube is out, and you were so happy about that, aren't you? And I am so happy about that. Everyone's so happy about that. Mwah. I'm gonna put you over my shoulder. So since then everything's just been a load off my mind, because you know, previous to that I had a baby with breathing problems, and now I have a baby who has a feeding tube and a cough palate, and that's it. And she will have her cleft repaired in, sorry, major backache. She will have her cleft repaired by the time she's about 9 to 12 months old. We do now have a meeting booked over at Manchester with her cleft surgeon specialist, which will be on the 10th of August. And yeah, how is she doing other than that? She is teething, and don't think that I'm exaggerating, because lots of medical professionals have like confirmed that for me. She's drooling all the time, trying to eat her hands, getting very agitated sometimes and upset, because she's still quite little, and because she does have weaker wrists like I did at this age. She's getting very angry because she can't soothe herself by completely putting her hands in her mouth all the time. So she's getting there, but I do feel so bad for her, so sometimes we've been relying on Calpol if we've needed to. And I'm just going to put her down for a second because it's really warm, isn't it? And you're getting all hot and bothered, I can tell. Sorry about that. It's like this random heat wave that we're having at the moment, and I am so hot and so is she. That's why she's only in a nappy, by the way. It's not just me being cruel. So yeah, teething aside, she's doing really well. Like, she's such a happy little girl. Like, I cannot explain how like laid back and chilled she is. She's so funny. She loves to like make you entertain her. She'll look at you and give you that eye and said like, come on, give me your best shot. And it's just so funny watching her grin. She's got the loveliest little smile, and she has the cheekiest eyes. Her eyes light up, and even if I can't see any other part of her face, like when she has a dummy in, I know when she's smiling at me just because of her eyes, and it's so adorable. And what else? She's playing so much more now. She loves lying on a play mat for a bit, having like a play around, like trying to grab toys and like gurgling and cooing to herself. And it's lovely to see, really, because I like this age when they start sort of experiencing the world more. It's really lovely. What else? She is smiling obviously all the time now and laughing. She has the cutest laugh, and I find it really hard to get it on camera because she knows when a camera or a phone's out and pointed in her direction, but she laughs and she goes hoo hoo hoo, and that's her laugh, and it's so cute. She sounds a bit like a really excited pigeon. It's lovely. She's opinionated, as you can hear. She's grumpy because I'm not holding her now, but she, you know, she'll grizzle and she'll grumble, but she's quite talkative anyway, and it's really nice because, you know, like, we keep thinking back to like whether or not she would have had a tracheostomy, and then we wouldn't have heard anything. So it's one of those things where like we're just really grateful for any noise that she makes, to be honest. That's another thing, like the revelation now that she is breathing tube free. Just to think that she could have had a tracheostomy for 2 years of her life is an incredible difference to just a few weeks or a few months really of this MPA. It's just incredible to know that we like made that decision. It was the right one, and like she's thriving. Since that has come out, she obviously now only has her nasogastric tube, which is a feeding tube that's like down her nose and into her tummy. And she's still on that and will be for the foreseeable until she takes enough milk via a bottle or we wean her early. And I'm, you know, before you panic and attack me for weaning early, it is not my decision. It's the decision of the health professionals that I am led by. She can take food orally, so the best option for her is to try and continue to take everything orally, because babies or children that have feeding tubes, whether nasogastric or a peg through the stomach, can sometimes develop oral aversion, can become like lazy with feeding because they know that they don't have to do anything, it just goes straight into their tummy. And you know, it's a loss of sensation for them as well. So if they are able to feed more orally, then it is encouraged. So she will be set to start weaning very slowly on like baby rice and things like that at 17 weeks. Now, I imagine your horror, that's about 4 months old for anybody that was wondering. I did baby-led weaning with my son, and it was at 6 months. He didn't have anything until then, and I did it all the way that I, you know, wanted to at the time. But I've had to do things differently this time, and I've got to embrace it rather than like resist it, because ultimately her having more food orally and more milk orally is better for her in the long run. She is taking up to 95 ml via a bottle now out of 165 ml feeds, but again that will go up again as she grows bigger, because every time she grows bigger we have to recalculate how much milk she needs during the day, which is 180 ml per kilo that she is. So it's all very technical and it's not natural at all to me. Like, you know, with William I just put my boob in his mouth when he asked for it, and even when you make up bottles it's just you go with your baby, don't you? But with her it's all maths, and that's unfortunately the way it's going to stay. As you can see, she's getting a little bit chubbier now. Sorry for the frowning. She does smile quite a lot, I promise, don't you? Do you smile a lot? She's getting a lot chubbier now, putting weight on. She's getting like rolls and like dimpled thighs, and it's so cute. She's in size 3 to 6 month clothing now, just because of her length. I don't know if you've seen how long she is, 1 second, but she's not a short baby, are you? And neither was your brother, and neither was I. Neither was I. No, we're all really tall until we hit puberty, and then we kind of fill out wide as well. Unfortunate, isn't it? But yeah, she's really packing on the pounds, which is lovely, because obviously when she was in special care she lost a fair bit of weight and she wasn't feeding, and she just looked so tiny and vulnerable, and now she's my little like tank, aren't you? The last time she was weighed, which was last week, she was £12 and 4 ounces, weren't you? Which isn't bad going for a baby like Daisy, because they can struggle to gain weight, can't they? Yes. Nadine. Her head control is brilliant. She is standing up on my knee at the moment and pushing up and down, because that makes you really happy, doesn't it? Yeah, you happy? Cheeky, cheeky, yeah. She still has blue eyes, even though they're like my eye shape. They are Mark's colour at the moment, so I hope they stay that way, because that's really nice. And she is growing some hair, but losing, like, well, she lost a bit, obviously, as they always do. That's my hair you've got in your hand, young lady. That's my hair you've got in your hand. But I wonder if she might be blonde. I wonder if you might be blonde, because your brother's blonde, isn't he? Yeah. Ow, that really hurts. She's still on infant Gaviscon. I actually don't think she needs it anymore. She only had like 1 sachet per feed anyway, and she doesn't spit up at all. Especially since her NPA's come out, she's so much more efficient with her feeding. She's using Dr. Brown's bottles, which are really, really good for her. They're specialist cleft bottles, and sorry if I'm doing this, she's pulling my hair. I don't know if you can see, it really hurts. Can we not do that? Can we maybe let go? No? Okay. She is still on breast milk. But as I said very emotionally in my update about postpartum, like for me, I am considering giving up expressing, because it's got to that point where I just feel like it is making me really unhappy, and my quality of life is really dropping as a result, because I am tied to my pump, and it's going to be hard. We're going to transition her onto formula very slowly, doing a mixture of 50-50 and going from there and seeing how that goes. We're going to be using a perfect prep machine, which should be useful, and just hoping that that makes a difference to all of our lives. I am feeling really guilty. She has had a few 50-50 bottles just to see how she does with that, and she has coped fine with them, and you know, she's not had any upset tummies or anything like that. But it's still hard, because I wanted to give her, you know, all that I could, and I can't. And I'm not going to get upset about that now, because it's all about you, not about my emotions, isn't it? But as long as she keeps on gaining and she's happy, then that's all that matters, isn't it, deep down? You're not gonna hate me, are you? I hope not. In terms of like how she's fitting in with the family and stuff, she's just everybody's favourite little person at the moment. Well, I say that, I mean, I can't choose between Bill and Daisy, and Mark can't either, but Bill is obsessed with her. He comes in first thing in the morning and goes straight to see Daisy. He goes, "Oh, hi baby, hi," and he does this little baby voice for her, and she grins at him and she loves him, and she's such a sociable little thing. She just really loves to be cuddled by anybody and is quite happy to give anyone a smile. My family have been spending loads of time with her and she's recognising them even more, which is really nice, isn't it? So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about her, if there's anything that you want to know. I want to do a video about her syndrome and my syndrome and updates in that sense, but I'm not really sure if like people would like to hear about it, or if there is anything that you're like curious about. So if there is, please let me know down below. But otherwise, we're going to go and have some cuddles and we will see you next time, hopefully. I'm hoping to vlog at some point because it's been ages since I've done one and I miss doing it a lot. So yeah, I'll try and do those as well, and I'll see you soon so you can see a little bit more of her in a natural environment rather than just snuffling on my chest. So yeah, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.